Hello and welcome to the Swing Bump Podcast. Today you have myself, Mac Mitch Allen, and James Martin. We're going to have a football heavy show as we are officially into the football season. Week 1 of the NFL season has kicked off, and it's been pretty crazy. I'm looking forward to recapping it with my good friends here and soon to be dad, James Martin. How long? So when's the due date, James?
It is March 3rd.
March 3rd. Good day. Sure, there's something good that happened March 3rd.
So won't be coming down for spring break.
Sounds like something good happened in June.
You can't go down for spring break. Who cares if I have a child?
Like a 10-month pregnancy. No, wait. No, you're good. Never mind. I'm a math teacher. All right. Anyways, today on Swing Bump, we will be talking about a little bit of baseball news, recapping the NCAA Week 2 action and NFL Week 1. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Okay. So before I get started, if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you see all future content. That way you'll get notified when we post our picks video later in the week, which will be Wednesday night. You should get notified about that, where you'll be able to comment your picks for this week, as well as going into all of our recaps. At the end of this episode, we will be talking about where the standings are right now as we're recording this episode Sunday night as the Rams-Bears goes on. And so far, it looks like all of you guys are looking pretty good for that 7.5 point spread. Me, not so much. But we'll go into that and we'll give you an updated standings on who we have beating our listeners, as there is at least one who is ahead of us right now. So, guys, another no-hitter was thrown yesterday. 9th no-hitter of the season, a new major league record. 2 records were actually broken that night. 9 for the majors, and that was the third. That was the third one this year against the Indians. Most no-hitters against a single team in MLB history. The Cleveland Indians, in their last season ever as an Indians, maybe officially have the worst winning season of all time. Because right now, I think they're maybe a game above or below 500. I'm not exactly sure on the standings. But being no-hit 3 times, and there was almost a 4th, is pretty rough. In 2 days, the Indians had 2 hits against the Milwaukee Brewers, who are just rolling right now. Toby's argument that they might be one of the best teams in baseball is looking pretty valid. Corbin Burns, though, got pulled in after the 8th inning. I mean, I know he had a high pitch count, but how frustrating does that have to be?
I thought he only had 88 pitches.
There's no way.
Maybe I was thinking of the Scherzer game.
I wonder if he wanted to come out. I mean, I know he probably didn't, but maybe his arm was hurting him. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of, because that's just stupid to pull him.
Yeah.
Because we've seen no hitters go up to like 140 pitches at times.
Oh, I mean, you got it going. You want to get it. It's like, I'd rather stay in the game and lose it than get out of the game.
No, he was at 115 pitches.
Through 8?
One more inning to go?
Through 8. Yeah. A lot of guys just don't have that kind of stamina. If they've never been there before.
It's also, what was the score to the game?
3-0.
And that's probably why. I mean, I wonder how bad his 8th inning was. Like, was it's kind of like
you could go from a no-hitter to losing a game pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, 3's a lot, but
with 3 runs.
I don't know. I wouldn't pull him.
Bottom line is they got it. So
yeah, but it's a combined no-hitter just doesn't count as much to me.
Well, isn't that the second combined no?
Yeah, second combined of the year.
They're
far more common though than regular. Well, I shouldn't say they're far more common. They happen. I don't know. I don't feel like it's as impressive. And no one guy goes down the record book as throwing. Corbin Burns is not attributed with a no-hitter, So I don't know. To me, it's not as special. Still special for the Brewers, though. It's their first no-hitter in 43 years.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Speaking of no-hitters, I just saw that Tim Lincecum was on the ballot for the Hall of Fame next year, and I could not believe that he has thrown 2 no-hitters.
Yeah. You do some crazy things. And he won the Cy Young as well.
Twice.
Yeah, guys like that don't come around very often.
He didn't play for very long.
No, he had
I was just shocked to see him on the ballot already. I was like, oh, that doesn't feel like that long ago. That's all I was saying.
What do they call guys? There's like a term, but like he's like a firework where his brilliance is amazing, but it fades very fast. His peak was insanely high, but it was also for a very short amount of time. So
not like Randy.
Not like who?
Randy Johnson.
No, not like a guy like that. But I was very impressed by the Brewers this weekend. I watched all 3. I mean, I root for the Brewers, live here near Milwaukee, as long as they're not playing the Indians. And I mean, they put up a 3 in the no-hitter, and then the other 2 games, 10 runs and 11 runs. So looking really good, really good. So they should be a fun team to watch going into the playoffs. I know we have a lot of Brewers fans here on the podcast, so must be a lot of fun.
I'll always root for the Brewers as long as they're not playing the Giants.
Yeah. Well, the Giants have had their way with them more or less. Or no, it's the other way around. Brewers have won.
The Brewers have won in that series.
Yeah. Brewers are doing better. So
4-3.
Any baseball talk besides that? Max Scherzer broke a record today.
Yeah.
And
he had a couple good things today.
so it was something with 3,000 strikeouts, right?
Yeah, he broke 3,000 strikeouts. Oh, I don't know the record he broke, but
it
was
was like
perfect through 7.
Mm-hmm. I think he was like one of the however many pitchers to do it like 7 seasons in a row, or first pitcher to do it however many seasons in a row.
He had an immaculate inning today. That's his third career. That's what is that again?
It means when you strike out all 3 guys in 9 strikes.
Okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but there's only 2 other guys that have done that: Greg Maddux, Sandy Koufax, and one other guy.
No, there's a few guys have thrown immaculate innings.
No, maybe multiple.
3.
Oh, 3.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's Sandy Koufax, Max Scherzer, and one other guy.
Greg Maddux sounds pretty right.
And Scherzer almost had a perfect game today too.
Hit it through 7.
Yeah, so that's pretty nuts.
Then they pulled him when he gave up a hit.
Trying to find this 3,000 stat. Yeah, so he was like the 5th or 6th guy to. Oh no, never mind. I'm sorry, I'm reading it incorrectly.
Was he one of the fastest at 3,000?
He has 3 Cy Young awards. He's pitched to 3,000. This article is not saying anything to me.
All right, moving on.
Anyway, sorry, not great radio, but he did something about 3,000 strikeouts. But it's amazing. I mean, just nuts. 3,000. I mean, what am I saying? I was thinking 300, not 3,000. That's why.
Strikeouts.
Because I was saying 300
That's
strikeouts.
nuts.
I was saying 300 strikeouts multiple times in my head, but I was saying 3,000 strikeouts out loud. So that's where I was going crazy. Anyways, Max Scherzer went nuts. NCAA, Ohio State losing to Oregon 3-12.
Nice.
I was super happy. I just kept saying, man, I hate Ohio State so much. This is great. I don't know. They do not look great.
I think it's so funny how conferences cheer for conferences in the way they do. Like, an SEC person, they always cheer for the SEC to win.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Big Ten's like, let them die. I don't care. Let them lose by 50.
Oh, no, we want
funny.
everyone in the Big Ten. Well, that's not true. Really, it's everyone just hates Ohio State. I don't mind if Indiana and Nebraska and Montana. I want those guys to win. I want all the Big Ten teams to win, except Ohio State. I want them to lose every single game. I mean, I think that's probably fair. You could say that pretty much every Big Ten fan base. We all want Ohio State to lose. Michigan State looked pretty good. I know Alabama put another walloping on. All the top 10 teams. Iowa State was a pretty good game. Iowa beat Iowa State. It was a 10-9 game, right? They were both 9 and 10 in rankings.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
No big injuries, nothing huge really that I can think of.
There were only like 3 upsets, which was lower than I thought. The big one probably is Arkansas beating Texas by 19. Just a little warm up for the SEC, for the worst SEC team in the league.
Yeah, I thought Texas would be better than that. As a 15, there's a few like 20s or something that lost, but nothing super surprising. One thing I thought was cool. So last year, 2 years ago, Michigan was expected to be pretty good. Washington came in and just smashed them in like the second or third game of the year. So then after Washington lost to Montana last week, an FCS school, and they got ran all over the place. We're like, well, we ran all over the place against Western Michigan. We'll just run all over the place against Montana. Their linebacker in an interview said, Michigan's not going to be able to run on us. We only passed the ball, I believe, 14 times for like 49 yards and ran for 375 yards and won 31-10. So at the end of the game, they're like, they said we couldn't run on them, so we just decided that's all we would do. And they just ran the ball like crazy. So that was a fun game to watch. But outside of those few games that we mentioned, this was not a very marquee matchup kind of week. Iowa State was probably like the closest of ranked teams. Toledo almost upset Notre Dame. That would have been cool.
Oh, the Iowa game.
Yep, we said that.
Yep.
A few times.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else?
I'm looking at the AP top 25.
I mean, it's not a ranked game, but I watched the Tennessee Pittsburgh game, which was really fun to watch. Our quarterback got hurt. Our starting 2 running backs got hurt, and we still hung in there. So it was super fun, even though we lost. I'm excited for this year.
You gotta love Oklahoma winning 76-0. Yeah, hey guys, I'm here.
Wes is here.
Yeah, for anyone that For anyone that Dennis isn't on YouTube and just listens, they've been surprised to hear you.
Did you guys mention the FSU game?
No, we did not.
Wow.
That one should
But
be mentioned.
gotta love Oklahoma winning a barn burner against Western Carolina, 76-0. So
Yeah, 76-0. Spencer Rattler threw 7 touchdowns,
well,
and then they pulled him.
Yeah, 5 touchdowns. I have those
5.
here.
Where did I hear
Yeah.
7? Who had 7 today or yesterday? Someone had 7.
Couldn't
Not
tell you.
sure.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Probably
he had
Alabama.
5 passing and they had 5 rushing touchdowns too.
So back to what Max said. Jacksonville State beat Florida State University.
Yikes! I've never even
That's-
heard of Jacksonville State. That's not
I think
true.
There's like 800,000 Jacksonville, so I don't even know what state it's in.
Did you all see the video of the cheerleader after like they got the winning touchdown?
No.
Uh-uh.
Well, you
What
should look that up.
Yes, sir.
Say no more.
Mac, I think your mic might be coming out of your computer, not your headset. If you just want to check your Zoom settings.
It sounds like you're in a tin can.
Yes. Okay. Anything else NCAA football you guys want to talk? I can't think of anything super pressing.
It was
Any
very
big game?
depressing that the first thing y'all talked about as I got on was Texas getting beat by Arkansas. but-
Yeah, sorry, Wes.
Can't resist, sorry.
Sorry.
Hey, but Texas came out strong today in another way.
Is this
Yeah,
in-
so the Houston Texans did well.
Segue.
They smashed the Jacksonville Jaguars, and a certain player that I know of named Brandon Cooks had 100 yards in the first half,
They
despite
did.
Wes claiming he wouldn't have 85 yards in the game, and that the Texans would likely not pass for 100 yards in the entire game.
This is
So
true.
Wes, you got some fessing up to do.
Some
Yeah,
splendid
no,
to do.
Brandon Cooks hadn't had that many yards in a half in his whole career, and then the second half he has 4 yards receiving. So, great first half and follows it up with 4 yards in the second.
It's not
half.
like they had to pass in the second half. To be
It's not
fair.
like they had to pass. Period. Jacksonville
Mark
was
Ingram
giving
looked
them the
good.
ball. They were just giving them the ball. So Lawrence looked bad. Honestly, their whole team was bad. There was interceptions. There was drops. So many penalties on offense.
Yeah, that team did not look like a
Uh,
team ready to compete with NFL.
But Tyrod
teams.
Taylor came out and balled. I mean, now Jacksonville's defense was bad, but Tyrod Taylor did great. I was pleasantly surprised, and the coaching staff had a good plan. So.
You're first in the AFC South.
Yeah. No, don't say you. I'm
Houston.
more of
They
I'm more
are.
of a Houston hater at this point. Now I'm
My bad,
eating,
dog. My
eating a
bad.
little crow, but hey, Jacksonville won their first game last year, and we all saw how their season ended. So
Is my audio any better?
Yeah, it's a little better.
Nope. It actually sounds exact.
It sounds the same.
It definitely sounds like he's closer to the mic.
Doesn't mean it's better.
Yeah, I was shocked by that. I mean, I am Jansen doing trivia because I won last week.
West
But
won last week.
Oh, Wes won last week. Oh,
Yes,
Wes is doing trivia then.
on the
I'm sorry.
last play of the game.
Oh yeah, I forgot his 6 points.
I was in the lead before that anyway, so I don't know how you thought
Sorry.
you were.
Hey, wishful thinking.
You were dead last.
What was I talking about though? Oh, so think about Trevor Lawrence. I guess this will be our first game. We'll start our NFL recap of week 1. Trevor Lawrence had, while he didn't
do
look
too bad,
great,
did he?
he didn't look amazing, but he had a few throws where you were like, this is why this guy is the number 1 draft pick. Like that touchdown pass to DJ Chark was really nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
He had some good plays, but overall, I was not overly impressed by him. I mean, he looked like a rookie in a team that sucks. So
2 interceptions were ugly. I mean, he threw one of them. Like there was pressure coming from both sides. He was just kind of like, it was just right to the defender. But
But I mean, he had phenomenal stats.
well, yeah,
No,
he
he
put
played
up some
well.
good. They had to throw the most of the game because they were down so much so early. So yeah, he put up some good numbers. I will give him that. But too many mistakes, way too many penalties. They look like a team. They look like the worst team in the league today.
No, they
I-
didn't. No, they didn't.
Yeah,
no,
were
there
a
is
team that looked
definitely a
lot
team that
worse.
looked worse. We'll get into them. in just a
Okay, well, they
minute.
look like one of the worst teams in the league.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen, Wes. Preacher
So-
brethren.
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor, pretty efficient. He went 21 of 33 for 291 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So he played well, but I mean, against the Jags, I don't think we expected much. The big surprise for me in this game was Mark Ingram running 26 times for 85 yards and a touchdown. Now 26 for 85 is no great yard per carry. So I don't think we should expect a lot from him. But Brandon Cooks, 5 for 132. And
Or in the second
then
half.
Yeah, nobody else did anything on that team.
I thought Philip Lindsay was actually going to be the starter. Honestly,
Yeah, I expected him to be, and being younger and faster, I just thought that's what would happen. But
I think the big thing today was, and I watched the whole game start to finish, but the big thing today was Ingram kind of got in a rhythm, and they were just kind of, and late in the second half, they were just trying to run clock. And Ingram's kind of the big bruiser, and I guess they didn't want Lindsay to get take too much of a beating since they were just trying to run some clock. So Ingram got the majority of carries due to that.
So we move past that game, I suppose. Houston 37, Jacksonville 21. How many of us picked that one correctly, Mac?
Mac left.
Oh, Mac left?
I don't think anybody did.
No one. We all picked the Jags, did we not?
Yep.
Okay,
So
well,
not looking too bad there.
not great with that one. Next one we got on the docket is, I guess let me start from the bottom, work my way up. That'll be the best way to do it. Oh, Buccaneers Cowboys. So Mitch and I got to watch this one together on Thursday. That was a ton of fun.
That was
And
a great game.
Wes, while I know the Cowboys lost, I think that's a moral victory, right? I mean,
It was a huge moral victory. So
to contend with the reigning Super Bowl champions and to make them have to do a last second comeback drive, is really impressive. And when we saw Tom Brady get the ball back with 1:24, I mean, there was no doubt in my mind they're going to come back and get a field goal to win that game. But Dak Prescott looked like MVP level Dak Prescott, 42 of 58 for 3 touchdowns and an interception. And the interception wasn't his fault. It bounced off of CeeDee Lamb's hands. And honestly, he even missed a few passes early on that he probably should have hit. But when he got hot, he got going. And then Tom matched it with 379 and 4. Now, people have been really riding on Ezekiel Elliott for that performance, but he barely had the ball. When he did, it was in very runs-heavy situations. You know what I mean?
let me tell you.
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
Like,
it's driving me nuts
obvious
that
run
people
situations.
Talk about how bad Zeke was. Like, the man had no opportunities. He had 11 carries. He played a defense that was stacking the box and the best defensive line against the run in the league. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
He was on the field for 76% of the snaps. There's nothing wrong with him. He was in that game all the time. He was doing a lot of blocking.
He did a great blocking too at that.
Yeah.
I mean, they passed the ball 58 times. It was just their game plan. He was game planned out of the game. So I'm not worried about him. If you're into Zeke for fantasy, probably I would go trade for him. But I think we clearly saw the 2 best receiving cores in football on Thursday. The Cowboys and the Broncos just came out and were amazing. I mean, good luck trying to cover either of those 2 teams, especially with Antonio Brown getting 5 catches for 121 yards and a touchdown. I mean, Antonio Brown looked like the best receiver on the field out there. Maybe Amari Cooper looked better, but Gronk had 8 for 90 and 2 touchdowns. I don't see how many teams beating the Buccaneers, so they're gonna fly high. The Cowboys looked good too. I think the Cowboys have got a good shot at winning their division. We got a lot of games to go through. Any final comments on these guys?
Nope.
You said Broncos, it's Buccaneers. Also,
Oh, I
is
said
my audio
Broncos.
better?
Oh, sorry. No, that is by far way worse. Let's go. What you were at before wasn't bad. It just sounded a little far away, but it was fine. All right. Next game I have on the docket for some reason, even though it was a 4:00 game. Oh, yeah. Even though it was a 4:00 game, is the Broncos and the Giants. This is a game that I was heavily in favor of the Broncos. I just think they have a really good defense, and the Giants have a terrible O-line
And offense.
Yeah, but I mean, get Kenny Galladay, Saquon Barkley. Some people were high on their potential to score. They're like, Daniel Jones finally will have weapons to throw to. I just don't have any faith in Daniel Jones. He fumbled yet again. Daniel Johnson's going to be a great player for the Indians someday. That's who I was accidentally spoke as. But 2 carries, 13 yards, and I'm sorry, I got sacked twice for 13 yards. He had a couple carries, but that fumble again just lost the game away for him. Had no shot after that. Teddy Bridgewater, no interceptions. Melvin Gordon had 100 yards. So it looks like
80-yard run. So that really helps.
Yeah.
70, sorry.
But Javonte Williams had more carries. So I think that's 100% split backfield. And if Williams, I mean, at that point, it was 14 for 45 compared to 10 for 20. So before that run, I would have said that Williams looked a much better running back. So we'll see what happens with them. But Bridgewater really spread the ball out. He passed it to 9 different guys. Same with Daniel Jones, but I don't think the Giants have any chance of doing anything. Wasn't he one of the sleep? Toby picked the Giants to win the division, right?
Yes.
I think he did.
Yes.
What the heck?
He picked the Redskins. I mean football team,
No.
but then he picked the Giants to finish second for sure. And make a
I'm
wild-
pretty
make a- make
sure he
playoffs.
picked the.
I think when we did the little pick'em things, he said they're my sleeper to win the division.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said he thinks the Giants got a good shot to win the division. I don't think there's any chance of that.
Anywho, I think the biggest story from this game was Jerry Judy, high ankle
Yeah,
sprain.
that
He's out
sucks.
6 to 8 weeks at minimum.
68.
At least
weeks.
it's not the
Yep.
season though. So that is
Yes.
the good news.
Half the season.
Because he was looking very good, and then
Cortland
got hurt and
Sutton
fumbled.
stock goes up big time for me.
Although he had one catch for 14 yards in this game, so
Yeah.
I don't know how much the stock goes up.
Well, I mean, one game.
I think Tim Patrick and KJ Hamler will still.
Can KJ Hammer look pretty solid? All right, another game that happened in the 4 o'clock block that I was a big fan of. I wish it would have turned out a little bit differently, but I saw some promising stuff from some good young players. Was the Patriots versus Dolphins game? Tua looked really good, 16-27, pretty efficient. He had a lot of inaccuracies, but both of these defense looked pretty solid, and both these quarterbacks looked pretty young. So, I mean, you could tell that the teams were not willing to let these quarterbacks turn loose and that they weren't ready to. But really low scoring game. No turnovers until late. Tua threw an interception when he got smashed by Matt Judon. Damian Harris had 100 yards rushing. Miles Gaskin, 49. I think they probably should try to run a little bit more if I were them. But defense played really well for both. I was really impressed as a Patriots fan by Mac Jones. He was super calm in the pocket. Every time that pass rush came up, he stepped forward in the pocket and delivered a strike. No super inaccurate throws, really good decision making. Honestly, out of all the rookies that played today, himself, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, he looked the best by far
Trey
of those
Lance.
three. Trey Lance
was
had like
1 for 1 with a touchdown.
yeah, he
Hey.
threw one ball
Pretty solid to me.
and he was wide open. So out of those three, I felt like he looked like the best of those three. Any comments on that game? You guys watch that one?
I did not watch that one.
I watched bits and pieces of it because I knew the Dolphins were going to win.
They barely won because of
all I heard was win.
That's a win.
oh, it was so frustrating too. Damian Harris was having a great game, got inside the 10-yard line and fumbled it on our last drive with like 2 minutes to go. We could have kicked a field goal and won.
It's like Chris Godwin the other day.
Yeah, it was a really frustrating because he was having a great game and to fumble it so close to the maybe he's a little further out, but we were definitely in field goal range. So Andy Dalton running for a touchdown. Oh no, he slid at the 3.
No, come on, man.
I'm watching this. You watching on NBC.com?
Yeah, but you're still ahead of me.
I shouldn't be. I'm no closer. I am closer to Chicago than you. Or is it in LA?
Watching it on Yahoo.
Either way. All right. Sorry, James. My bad. But yeah, I was very encouraged by that. I think Mac Jones will be a solid QB. He looked really good today. 29-39. No interceptions. So you guys didn't watch that game? No comments?
I only watched like 3 games today.
I don't think I watched any.
I watched all the games. All the games. I had
I watched
three-
a couple, but
you were out caddying today, correct, Mitch?
yeah.
I had 3 TVs up and my phone was on red zone. So I did not miss a beat. It was a good time.
Just a heads up, we've done 3 games out of 16. So
Yeah, we're moving. Browns Chiefs is probably the game of the day. Browns
It
came up and
is.
took 22-10,
Yeah,
22-10 lead. Looked really good. They're running the ball efficiently. Baker was making great decisions. But the Chiefs do what the Chiefs do. Patrick Mahomes started hitting Kelsey like crazy. Had a really, in my opinion, really lucky play to Tyreek Hill. That one where Kelsey rolled out to Mahomes rolled out to the right, tossed it deep to Hill. If the defender had any idea that the ball was thrown, that ball is getting picked off. So I felt like they were pretty lucky with that one. But I mean, he came back, they won the game, but it was an awesome game. I think the Browns, we said last week that if the Browns are the real deal, they were going to have to play this game and make it close. And they looked like the better team for most of the game.
I think the lucky play to Hill is a makeup for winning the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes was hitting everybody in the face mask and they won. That's
for real.
a little bit of kind of
Karma
coming
Yeah.
back his way there.
Yeah.
Next game.
I just saw it. But yeah, I mean, I think that the Browns look like a legitimate playoff contender. I think they're probably my favorite to win the division, especially with, even though Pittsburgh beat the Bills, it did not look great to me. I think the Bills looked more bad than the Steelers did.
Yeah, I mean, even Tomlin after the game came out and said, it wasn't pretty, but we don't get, you don't put you don't get style points.
Yeah.
we get wins and losses. So
Mhm. So we'll go into that game in just a moment. Panthers Jets, James, you watch this one?
I did not.
No? Oh, really? I'm surprised. I would have thought.
I
You
kept up
would.
with this game.
Okay, Wes, give me your version of the recap. I saw some highlights when Red Zone brought it across, but I didn't have this one up.
Zach Wilson man. He lost his left tackle, Mekhi Becton, the first round pick from last season.
The big dude.
Yeah, Zach Wilson was being chased around the whole game, and he looked bad early, mostly because he's being chased around the whole game. But
He was sacked 6 times for 50 yards.
second half, he kind of found his, they kind of found their way a little bit, and they made it interesting. But the story of the game was Sam Darnold. I was not a true believer in Darnold, but he got the game plan. Get the ball to McCaffrey and you'll be all right. So
Yeah.
McCaffrey had like 100 yards receiving, 100 yards rushing.
I think that's really the story of the game.
Yeah, and so Darnold's got the memo, but he threw a dime to Robbie Anderson, 57 yards, and he played well. He didn't make mistakes. That's the main
I would
thing.
say he did not play poorly. I mean, he had a QBR of 47.4, but he didn't make mistakes. Like you said, he did not lose the game for them. I think you play any team besides maybe the Jets, Jaguars, you're probably losing that game with the way they played. But McCaffrey did have 89 catches for 89 and 21 carries for 98. I mean, that guy he's one of those guys, if he plays all 17 games, should contend for MVP.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That would be 1,700 yards receiving and rushing.
Yeah, that's insane.
I think he might win MVP.
A little
Well,
bit.
3,400
I say if
yards.
he plays that way he's healthy for 17 games. But yeah, that's a crazy pace.
That's nuts.
Next game on the docket. So Chargers squeaked out a win against Washington. I know Taylor Heineke came in and kind of got a little bit of momentum, but I don't think that they were really able to do much, really anything downfield. Terry McLaurin was very, very disappointing for me in this game. I expected a lot more out of him. Antonio Gibson looked good, 90 yards running. But I just
fumble
think
in there.
he did have a fumble. There's a lot of fumbles in the NFL today, but that usually happens pretty early on in the season. So he'll get more disciplined. Austin Eckler looked good. Keenan Allen, 9 catches for 100. But I was honestly, I know Mitch and I had a bet on this, which I did win. But I was really impressed with Herbert. I mean, I know that they didn't score like they wanted to because of a pick and a fumble in the red zone, but
Fumble.
he threw a pick as well.
Fumble.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that probably shouldn't have been called a fumble,
Ridiculous.
but it was. And he played well, though. I mean, he was really accurate, and Keenan Allen was open so often, and he was just hitting guys right in the chest, right in the helmet. Very impressive game from him. I don't know. I feel like if Washington just had a good quarterback, they could be a top 10 team in the league.
No doubt in my mind for sure. Which I know Fitzpatrick started out pretty decent, but
What happened to him? Like what injury?
something wrong with his hip. It was
Yeah,
a
he
hip
got
injury.
smashed, dude. So who was it? One of the Chargers, I forget who it was, came around on a
Was it one of the
blitz
Bosas?
and a
Was it
blind
Bosa?
side. No,
Ingram?
I think Melvin Ingram was who it was. And he just got smashed in the back and he hurt his hip pretty bad. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be long term or not, but I do not think Taylor Heineke is the answer there. You know who I think could be?
Oh god. Yeah.
Alex Smith.
Cameron Newton. I don't think he's great.
Honestly,
I don't think he's great, but Ron Rivera,
loves him.
Cam Newton, I think it kind of makes sense. He already knows the system. They could work out a kind of hybrid thing that Cam's used to. So if Fitzpatrick were to go down, I would not be surprised at all to see Cam come in as a starter.
You're like, Drew, I saw you on NBC tonight. Did not go well. How about suiting up for the football team next week, huh?
Who's
Well,
Drew?
Drew Brees.
Oh, Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. Yeah.
You mean Hair Plugs Breeze?
Yeah.
Did you guys see the difference? It was, horrendous. Pictures from him playing last year, no hair. Now it's literally a full head of hair. James, are you falling asleep on that? You know we're on YouTube, James.
Yeah, it's taking forever, so I'm just trying to get some little rest
Okay,
in while.
well, it's not good when it looks like the hosts are tired on the show.
I'm not tired. I slept until like 9:30 today.
Breeze,
8 hours more than I normally sleep.
Breeze looks fantastic.
He does. He does. All right. Seahawks, Colts. This was a game that somehow didn't get much press. But I feel like we wanted to see what was going to come out of Carson Wentz. You guys check this one out at all?
All know
I
is,
didn't watch it, but I saw what was going on. Like I was texting some people who are some Colts fans and stuff.
Well,
And
go ahead.
sorry, no, go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I've talked so much. You guys go ahead.
I was just gonna say they knew they were gonna probably lose because Xavier Rhodes, who's their number one corner, is
Mhm.
out. And he's gonna be out for like 3 weeks, and so they knew they were gonna get past the line. And that's what happened. Lockett had a field day. I mean, you know how he starts off seasons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
4 for 100 and 2 touchdowns.
Decent.
Not bad.
Wentz he did fumble. He had no picks.
No picks.
You mean Wilson?
No, Carson Wentz, no interceptions.
Oh, I thought you said.
I thought you said Winston.
Winston.
Oh, Wentz.
Oh, Wentz did.
That's his
Got it.
Georgia accent. Wentz.
Wentz did. I gotcha.
Anywho, yeah.
Russell
so,
Wilson played really well.
I mean, he didn't have to pass a whole lot, but I mean, he had 11 yards per pass and 4 yards. So
We always talk about it. He is so insanely efficient. I mean, he's just so good at when they're running the ball effectively, he can hit bombs downfield.
for some reason, sorry. I don't know. I keep cutting you off. No,
he only had 18 completions, but it was for 254 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's like the most Russell Wilson game out there.
Well, I mean, it's also the first 8 weeks of the season. We always go, man,
true.
How is this guy not getting MVP
so
votes?
good.
And then week 12, we're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah. Right.
did y'all see that Tyler Lockett touchdown?
Yeah, that's
That
crazy.
That was absolutely nuts.
There was some really awesome receiver touchdowns this week.
There were. Like that one
Russ-
to Juwan Johnson.
There was 2 to Juwan Johnson.
Russ told the reporter today that Tyler Lockett's like his Willie Mays out there. Just throw it up, he gonna catch it.
He
So,
does. He really does.
Nice little baseball reference there.
Next game.
Let me see who I got here for the next game. Sorry, I have to go back to my
Packers
screen.
and Saints. Let's talk
Nope,
about it.
next game I got is Cardinals Titans. James, what the heck happened to the Titans?
All right, let me tell you something.
What the heck?
Let me tell you. Okay, Chuck.
Our offensive line is just it might be one of the worst in the league.
Yeah,
Chandler
pass
Jones
protection.
had 3 sacks in the first quarter.
He had a
First
total
quarter.
of 6.
Yeah, a total of 5, right?
No,
For sure.
Six. Red Zone reported 6.
Whatever. He had a lot of sacks. All right. They couldn't block him. And then on the other side, JJ Watt was just stopping Derrick Henry. I mean, that's one massive man against one massive man. And JJ Watt kept winning. I mean, Derrick Henry had the worst game probably of his career. They packed the box. They put Buda Baker on AJ Brown or Julio Jones, and neither one of them did anything. And they just shut him down. And then stinking DeAndre Hopkins is catching everything. I mean, he came in the game one time, putting on his gloves like he didn't even care about the game.
As he came on, Christian Kirk also had a big game, 70 yards,
He
2
did.
touchdowns.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray looked MVP level this week.
I thought the Arizona Texans played really well. Hopkins and Watt, they dominated.
I was like, what?
I knew where you were going with that.
Thanks, Mitch.
I was very disappointed by the Titans. I thought they would come out and score well. I mean, you have Antonio Jones, AJ Brown.
Antonio Jones.
Or, I'm
Antonio
sorry.
Jones. He is so good.
Julio Jones, AJ Brown,
Derek Brown.
Derrick Henry.
Up and comer.
I just don't get how you're not scoring more than 13 points against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are not supposed to have a good defense. I know they
No,
added some
Their
players,
defense
but
looked good.
They did.
I
It looked
mean,
really good.
yeah, it was nuts how good.
I
they
mean,
looked.
in
They
all
stopped the
facets-
run and the pass.
Well, towards the end of the game, it was funny because they started just playing the pass, and Henry started getting some chunk yardage, and it would take like 3 guys to tackle Henry at the end of that game. It was hilarious. He just kept running and just knocking people over. But I'll tell you right now, as a multi-year owner of Derrick Henry in fantasy, that was definitely not his worst game. 58 yards. He's had like 20 something before.
How about Isaiah Simmons, former first-round pick from last season?
Oh,
Nine
yeah.
tackles and a pick. So
Guess who had that man on his fantasy team?
Oh, in our sleeper league.
Oh yeah, I still lost by 50, but he was on my team.
Okay, I lost by 140.
Yikes. I beat Mac pretty soundly, so
Yeah.
suck at Mac.
Next game.
Next game we got is Bengals Vikings. Joe Burrow came out and played really well. I was not sure what to expect out of this game.
my boy
Yeah.
Jamar Chase
Yeah.
came through in the clutch.
Yeah, I mean Jamar Chase, after looking awful in the preseason, looked really good
looked
today.
So bad.
They must have painted some white lines on the ball. He looked good.
Did you watch this one, Mac?
I did not know.
No.
I was working all day today.
Oh, bummer. That's a rough day to work. Joe
Yeah.
Mixon,
think-
though, looked awesome.
Joe Mixon looked. I was thinking that was the best part of the game was Joe
Yeah.
Mixon.
I mean, he ran really well, and they knew that he was going to run. I mean, they were stacking the box, and he was breaking tackles. So
Didn't he
29
he
for
left the game with an
127.
injury, didn't he?
I don't think so.
Not that I'm aware of. 29. He was playing in the fourth quarter. I know
Joe
for sure.
Mixon.
Okay.
I did come across like a notification that he was
Something
injured.
happened that he was like getting looked at, but it must have been nothing.
But he also added
It's nothing new.
4 catches for 20 yards, which for fantasy football, if you're a fan of that, that's huge.
Yeah, he finished with a PPR of 25 points today. So
Adam Thielen, though, looked like the primary receiver for Kirk Cousins. 9 catches for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. He looked
That's
really
what I
good.
was hoping for.
I thought the Vikings would win this game. And honestly, what's that, Mitchell?
I said I thought so too.
And
I
when you
think
look
the
at
Vikings are going to win the NFC North, but
with the way the Packers played today,
Oh.
very well may. But with the way that when you look at the stats, like you would think that the Vikings won. Kirk Cousins, 350 yards, 2 touchdowns. You look at the receivers and you see what Thielen and Jefferson and Osborne did. You'd think they won the game.
Well, I'd
I
say
think-
that the difference in the game was the running game.
Yeah, I mean, Dalvin
61
Cook,
yards for Cook
Mhm.
versus 127 for Mixon. They just couldn't get him off the field.
Yeah, and you just would not expect that.
Yeah. Although time of possession, they was pretty even. It's only an 18-second difference. So 35-09 for the Vikings and 34-51 for the Bengals. So
I think that was a really big game for the Bengals, though, to show that they're actually have a chance of contending this year. I think they'll still get 4th in the division, but they should be much better than they were last year, without a doubt.
hope so.
Got only 3 more games to go. So Steelers, Bills. A lot of us picked the Bills.
Ooh,
I know in this
yeah.
game,
Big surprise.
and yeah, the Bills did not look good at all. I know Zach Moss was injured, but you wouldn't think that would make a difference, really. Josh Allen only 30 of 51 for 270 yards and touchdown. He did run for 44 yards. Singletary added 70. Diggs only 9 for 69. You would expect a little bit more from him, but it just didn't seem like they really ever got their offense in a rhythm. They also had 4 fumbles. Allen had 2. Singletary had 2. And I think that's probably the reason they lost that game, because the Steelers didn't look great either. Ben only had 188 yards.
Wes, who got the Bills touchdown?
Oh, Mac. Backstory. Mac's been trying to trade me Gabriel Davis for my whole team pretty much all offseason. So
Well, if you would have had him, he would have gotten you 12 points today.
yeah. And I didn't need it because I played Jake this week. And
Well, yeah, that's an automatic win.
I won by about 95 points.
I was
so.
setting my lineup today, and they're like, "Oh, Zach Moss out." I was like, "I didn't even know he was injured. Like, what the heck?" So then I looked at my team, and like, "Well, I'll put Joshua Kelly in case Eckler gets injured." And then, like 5 minutes before the game, they never even announced Kelly was out. And then I was like, "Okay, well, I can slide JJ Taylor in, also out." I was like, "I have 1 running back to play. What the heck?" So I was like, "Well, Wes, I tried." So
Yeah,
you're welcome.
117-35. That
I
was
still
that
have
final
someone
score.
left, don't I?
You got like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I should be fine. You never
Maybe a
know.
defense.
That should be fine. You don't stand a
I
chance.
got it. There's
We all know
always-
you're tanking.
Hey,
Next game.
Next, well, let's stick on this one for a second longer. Do you think that the Steelers defense is the best in the league right now to shut down the Bills like that? No.
No.
I do not.
Well, so who do you have as the best? Washington.
Top 5.
I think it's. I mean, it depends on what area you talk about. I would maybe the Rams. I mean, I know they're playing the Bears, but they look good.
The Rams,
Meek-
the Niners,
The
the
Niners look
Washington football team. The
Niners
Niners
give
gave 15
33.
To the Lions.
Yeah.
garbage.
I don't know about the Niners. But
Garbage.
I don't know. I mean, we
Saints?
just know the Saints looks good.
Oh.
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers looked-
I mean, to do that to the MVP, that's
But that's what I'm saying too about this. I mean, Allen was almost the MVP, and the Bills were awesome last year.
They're
And
up
Minka
there.
Fitzpatrick,
They're
Devin
up there.
Bush, and TJ Watt. I mean, they looked unstoppable.
TJ
So-
did dominate today.
Minka had 10 tackles, Bush had 10, TJ had a couple sacks.
The
So
Steelers need to win 12 in a row for me to actually think that they're good.
Again.
they had 12 in a row last year, Mitchell.
Was it? I thought it was 11.
11
Yeah.
in a row.
That's why I said 12.
Yeah, he's 12. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you.
Next game we got him is Eagles Falcons. Again, James.
I
Eagles are
watched this
supposed to
entire game.
Eagles are
Oh.
supposed to be bad. Now, I didn't get to watch much of this. Red Zone kept updating me for every time that Jalen Hurts did another great thing because he ran and passed all over the Falcons today. Are the Falcons a bottom 5 team, you think, this year?
I would put them number 30,
Out of 30?
maybe. Yep.
Are they worse than the Jags?
Number
me
31
tell you,
out
let
of
me-
30.
38 out of 30. Nice. All right, I'm going to tell you what happened. They had a game plan. I told you this already, Jake, but I'm just going to let the people know. They had a game plan. Hurry up offense, mix pass, mix run. And first 2 drives, we drove like 80 yards and then 70 yards. Got down to the 2-yard line, had to settle for a field goal both times. Shocker. We do that every year. It must be a Matt Ryan thing, honestly. But after that, we stopped doing the hurry up. We just ran the ball every single time, and they stacked the box. they shadowed Calvin Ridley, and no one else could do anything. And we kept calling the same stupid plays, and they were playing I think it was a cover 2 defense, just a simple zone defense, and we would not run slants, and slants would be open when they would run them, and we never hit them. I'm not bitter. I'm a little angry. It was the worst game I've ever seen in pros. Like, just watch the whole game. I wanted to cry. It was so bad.
Did you watch the Packers game?
No.
Okay.
But I'm a Falcons fan, so it's a little different.
Yeah. Do you regret not drafting a quarterback over Kyle Pitts?
Yes.
Way too early to tell.
Yes. As of this game today, yes. Because we got to build for the future. So.
I'm not saying because Kyle Pitts looked bad. I'm just saying I don't think that Matt Ryan gives, because in my logic, when I think we talked about this earlier, when you draft Kyle Pitts over one of those quarterbacks that were available, you're saying Kyle Pitts gives us a chance to win now. And with the way we saw the Falcons play, I don't think for the rest of Matt Ryan's career, the Falcons have a chance to win.
And I don't think it was Matt Ryan's fault at all. He got sacked.
I don't think it is. I think he's probably the best player on your team.
28.
But the problem is everyone else is so bad, it doesn't even matter.
I think it was a sign, honestly.
Please just don't bring it up. Please don't.
3 times for 28 yards. So,
this is why I make fun of the Patriots every moment I get.
Cringeworthy.
I'm just saying, I don't know what that means. All right. I thought the Falcons were going to win this game, honestly. I did not trust Hurts' ability to throw. I thought they'd just be able to keep everything in front of them and just keep him limited to short passes and running the ball around a little bit. But he looked, honestly, I don't know if the Falcons made him look good, but he looked pretty good. And he had some good throws to Devontae Smith, who looked electric on the field, open several times, 6 for 71 and a touchdown. Rager looked fine. Goddard had some nice catches. So I don't know. We'll see if the Eagles may contend in the NFC East this year, because we know that's not a super strong division. But yeah, Falcons, that's pretty rough. We'll see. I have high hopes for Kyle Pitts.
I think you've said every team in the NFC East you could see as winning the NFC East.
Yeah, because I think they're all bad. Except for the Giants.
Got a point.
Yeah, I think that the Eagles, Cowboys, and Washington could all win the NFC East. I just don't think that the Giants can. All right, now we'll get to the game that we all want to talk about.
I like the Eagles now. I think in our poll I said Washington, but
yeah,
the Eagles look good. Jalen Hurts look good.
The game you've all been waiting for. Reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers walks into Jacksonville, Florida to play the New Orleans Saints. And me personally, I thought this was a bad line that Vegas had set. Everyone had given the Saints, was it the Packers had a line. They were like plus or minus plus 4.5, I think, something like that. I forget what it was. Can one of you see it on our sheet?
Yes, it was. Where is it?
On our sheet, it's probably out of date.
4.5.
Yeah,
Green Bay.
4.5. Yeah, and I thought it should be much higher. Just because I thought they were going to come in. Jameis Winston, who knows what he's going to do? No Michael Thomas, and the Packers appear to be full strength outside of Bakhtiari. But Aaron Rodgers was 15 of 28 for 133 yards, 2 bad interceptions, sacked once, the QBR of 13.6. Whereas Jameis Winston came in with 148 yards and 5 touchdowns. They just looked so bad. Aaron Jones was 5 of 9 rushing. AJ Dillon 4 of 19. I mean, what the heck happened to this team? Was the loss of Bakhtiari that big, do you think, or what?
There's no O-line on that team.
It was awful. I mean, Rodgers was running around like a chicken with his head cut off in the back.
Their defense against the run actually looked better than it did last year.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's no offensive line, so Rodgers hardly had any time to actually get anything done.
Mm-hmm.
And he also just sucked. But that's what happens when you spend half the offseason throwing a tantrum for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, to kind of go off that, I mean, we know Rodgers didn't take a snap of preseason, but it looked like he didn't even take a snap of training camp. Honestly, that's how bad they looked.
That's what I said to my Packer friends. I was like, if he would have spent some time working with his teammates.
Touchdown Rams.
Yeah, thanks, Mac. If he would have spent some time. Oh, it must be a big touchdown because they're on the 55.
It was huge.
Just don't tell me anything. Please tell me it wasn't Henderson. It's not Henderson.
Nope. Cooper.
No, Henderson is ass cheeks.
Oh my gosh, I have to take that out, Matt.
Thanks.
Now I have to edit the dang show.
Just leave it in there.
No. All right.
The Rams have 12 total rushing yards. It's the third quarter.
Those typical Allen boys.
Yeah. Did you think Henderson was going to be good, Mac? Are you upset?
Well, he's the RB1. I thought he'd get more than 12.
Yeah. How much did you invest into him this year?
Not hugely. It's
Oh.
for my office league. And I used to put up a goose egg for me, and I need Henderson to get me 10 points.
I
to
was
win.
like, there's a little bit of anger behind Mac's
How
voice
is
right
the
now.
cup so open?
All right. Hey, that might have helped me beat you, Wes, because I know I have Cooper Cup.
No.
Now I have that 55 points.
Mm,
All right. Anyways, I'm very scared about the Packers. If they cannot get their stuff together, they probably will not win this division, but they probably should win. But I think it's 100% a lack of chemistry because Aaron Rodgers just has not spent any time with his team. And you see other guys around the league bringing their receivers over to their house and play and catch in the backyard just to get to know each other and to work hard and to get some chemistry down. And Rodgers has not.
Well, I mean, this is the same receivers he's had for a few years, so it's not like he just met them and he doesn't know who they are. But
Yeah.
I think you're on the right track there.
Yeah.
So
He was swimming in waterfalls with his girlfriend over the summer. So.
I'll root
What?
for the Packers because I live here in Wisconsin, but it makes me so happy to see all these people that are in love with Aaron Rodgers and think that he's just going to come back and throw another 60 touchdowns. And
Yeah.
it's like he threw 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So you can all just shut up now.
It was great. I was in a conversation with some people on Twitter talking about how good Brady is or whatever after that game, Mitch. And someone said, everyone acts like Brady's so great, but he threw 2 interceptions today. That's 40% of what Aaron Rodgers threw all of last year. And then I found that guy's tweet, his tweet. And I went and commented and said, Aaron Rodgers threw 40% of his interceptions from last year today.
Well, over the last 4 years, Rodgers has only thrown 15 interceptions.
The guy doesn't throw a lot, but
Yeah. He's typically incredibly accurate. And this was a goose egg for him. I'm sure this won't happen again. It's probably like one of the worst games of his career.
there's a lot of times that teams come off really poorly in the week 1 and it just lights a fire into them the rest of the year. That leaves us with the Bears Rams currently at 20-7 Rams after they just scored, probably about to kick an extra point to make it 21-7.
Did not talk about the Niners Lions game.
Oh, thank you. I did not mean to skip over it. And then there is Raiders Ravens tomorrow. Niners Lions. What the heck? So Niners were absolutely dominating that game. Deebo Samuel had a heck of a game. Sadly, Raheem Mostert got injured very early on after only having 2 carries. Elijah Mitchell then came in, had 19 carries for 104. Trey Lance had a passing touchdown in that first drive. That was fun. But I mean, the Niners absolutely dominated. And somehow Jared Goff just led this comeback. And final score of 41-33 as the Lions were driving. You guys, I imagine, all watch this game. I'll let you to talk about this one. What do you think?
Mac was working all day and I was working too, so I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Oh my
What I
gosh.
heard, it sounded like the fourth quarter, the Niners are basically like, just keep scoring. It's fine. We know you can't win.
Right. That's exactly what happened. Because they were up 41. They're up by 29 points at one point. So they 100% weren't worried about it. The Lions scored, I think, like 21 or 22 unanswered, 21 unanswered, I believe.
It's kind of like what happened to the Niners in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Their defense was just like, yeah, we don't really feel like playing defense anymore.
But Debo and Gronk both looked great. Or not Gronk, Kittle. Now, do you guys have any idea what was up with Ayuk today?
I saw a
play?
tweet that said he's like not 100%, and Kyle Shanahan said Trent Sherfield like deserves to play. So
they just kind of said, why risk Ayuk when Sherfield can play fine?
right.
That makes sense.
Did he play?
I don't think I touched the field.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
no
that's much
targets,
better.
no catches.
Now, I do think what this means is for the 49ers, that rushing team is just, they're going to run so well. Just with all the speed they have on that team, I expect them to be able to rush the ball over the place. I mean, you have Elijah Mitchell come in and get 100+ yards.
Yes, yeah. It'd be nice to have Wayne Gallman. So
Yeah.
Trey Sermon didn't play. He was listed out. And
But you have
Mostert-
Elijah Mitchell and you have JaMychal Hasty, both of whom are promising young players.
I hope Mostert's not injured long term. I think that the 49ers are probably my favorite to win. Them or the Rams to win the NL West. So we'll see. Although the Cardinals look pretty dang good. So that wraps up NFL Week 1. Any final comments? As of right, yeah, I'm so glad football's back. I was excited about it all week, and it's great. I'm loving it. Matt, can you update us? I saw you updated our list
Yeah.
on the games for our Pick'em.
So you want to go through just
Competition.
the hosts?
Just say who the number 1 host is right now, and then who our number 1 fan is, and if anyone has a chance to beat us.
All right. So number 1 host is Mitchell. His 7. He's leading with 7.
Who do you pick correctly?
He got the Cowboys, the Niners, the Seahawks, the Chargers, the Dolphins, and the Broncos, and the Browns. And then our number one fan is Roy Steyer. Sorry if I mispronounced that, Roy. Over on YouTube, he's leading with 8. He's got Cowboys, Eagles, Cardinals, Steelers, Seahawks, Saints, Broncos, Browns.
And who did Mitch pick for tonight's game and tomorrow's game?
Tonight, Mitchell picked the Rams.
Ravens.
They need to win by 7.5. And then he picked the Ravens, who need to win by 4.5.
And what about Roy?
Roy picked the Raiders and the Bears, so opposite.
Okay, so
Ooh.
you got a chance, Mitch. Save us some money, Mitchell. All right. All right. This was our
Do I
up.
get the money if,
No, the money only goes to winners. We keep the money otherwise.
but I'm a listener.
Mm,
Don't believe you.
no, I don't think you do. All right, that was our update on our Pick'ems podcast presented by Wisconsin Natural Air Duct Cleaning and Mold Removal, which will be our new sponsor for the remainder of the NFL season. They will be supporting us throughout this, and we'll have our first ad read for you guys for them next week. But we're excited to finally bring on our first sponsor based here in Wisconsin. So if you have any air duct or mold removal in your house in the Wisconsin area, then that's who you should reach out to.
He's the best.
He is the best. He is the best. All right. Trivia time. Wes, what you got for us?
All right, we got week 1 of 2021 today. Let's take a little trip down a memory lane. Last season, 2020 regular season stats. So, question number 1. Y'all keep up with what the scores are. Who was our leading? So we had a. Let me start over. Most receiving yards in a game. All right, last season, most receiving yards in a game. I'm gonna give you.
Is it just straight up guessing?
Yeah, whoever gets the closest gets the dub for the question. So
You told the yards, not the person.
yes, most receiving yards in a game. The yards
By a team or by a player?
by player.
Think
All right, so I'm gonna start right to
Okay.
left. It's gonna be Mac, Mitch, James, Jake.
I'll wait for multiple choice.
It's
Nope.
Just a guess. Just a
Oh,
guess.
it's just a guess.
Nice try.
Is it yardage or player?
Yardage.
Oh,
Yardage.
okay. We're guessing the yardage. Okay.
Most receiving yards in a game.
Can I go first? That way I go last. Next question.
nope.
No.
No.
All right. I'm gonna
Guess.
go with 211.
You dog. That was the number I was gonna say.
You dog.
It's almost like y'all are brothers.
Crazy.
I'm pretty sure it's 211.
I knew you'd do that because I knew you'd say 2 and then I put the 11 here.
I'm saying 211 too. I thought it was 211.
That's not fair.
I could say 211.
I said it first.
Doesn't matter.
Am I next?
Yep, James.
220.
Dang it.
Jake.
210.
The total yards was from Tyreek Hill in week 12,
Knew it was Tyreek Hill.
269 yards receiving.
Oh, I
I
forgot.
almost said 160.
I thought he had 221. Honestly,
I thought it was
James is
211.
our-
I knew it was Tyreek Hill though.
I can't believe
Yeah,
you-
13
yeah,
catches for
13
269 yards.
How many touchdowns?
3 touchdowns. That's it.
Insane.
So, pretty crazy.
Absolutely
Jake, you should
insane.
have gone 221.
All
I
right,
should've,
next
should've, would've.
question. James takes a 1-0 lead. How many
Commanding
1,000-yard rushers did we have last season?
Good
This
thing
one-
last
I
question
actually
was
know
18.
this one.
Do we have any multiple choice, or do we have any one who'd like to guess first?
I
before
know-
the multiple
I-
choice.
I will.
Anyone else?
So if Jake knows it, he's gonna guess the right number, and we're all
Just
gonna.
want to know what the multiple choice or what the guessing order
Hey,
is.
can I get extra points if I can name all of them?
no.
No. But you get 2 if you guess how many
All right.
there were.
So am I the only one guessing?
I'll guess
not
after
guessing.
Jake guesses.
Okay, I'm guessing last though.
Oh, never mind.
All right, so Jake's the only one guessing. All right, Jake's the only one guessing.
3.
Go ahead, Jake.
3.
1,000-yard rushers.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to the next 3 guys. So do we have 3, 6, 8, or 10?
I feel like Jake is definitely one of those guys that would throw out a wrong number just to screw us all over. But I'm not gonna risk it, and I'll say 3.
Okay.
I know 2 of them
Me?
for sure.
It is James. I'm sorry.
I'll
I know all of them.
I'll go 6. Why not?
Yeah, I'm also going 6.
So we had 3, 6, 8, 10. Is that right? The correct
You
answer
tell
is
us.
I think it's 8.
the correct answer is 8.
Yeah.
8 1,000-yard rushers.
Eight.
So
I know this one.
That's why I never believe anything Jake says.
I thought 3 was so low.
very,
There's
very
no way.
close, very close, Jake. Yeah.
Who are the 8?
All right, the
Derrick
8
Henry,
are we had Derrick
Dalvin
Henry
Cook.
with 2,000 yards rushing,
Naturally.
Dalvin Cook with 1,557,
I think Lamar
Taylor.
Jackson ran over 1,000.
Jonathan Taylor 1,100 yards, Aaron Jones 1,100 yards, David Montgomery, Jerome Robinson, Nick Chubb, and Lamar Jackson.
Who's Jerome
It is
Robinson?
absolutely insane that Nick Chubb got 1,000 yards and he
James
made-
Robinson.
That guy, James Robinson. Jerome Robinson, he plays in the NBA.
I don't know why I had 3 stuck in my head.
So, yeah. All right. So James still in the lead with 1. Moving on to receivers. All right. We had quite a few receivers have 1,000 yards receiving. How many 1,000-yard receivers did we have?
Ooh, I know this one.
I'll wait for multiple choice.
I think it was 2. There's a lot.
Are we doing multiple choice again?
Yes, there will be multiple choice.
Oh, wait.
All right, we got some waiters. All right. Is it 15, 18, 21, or 23?
All of those are higher than the number I had in my head. So good thing I didn't guess.
One of the numbers is the number I had in my head, but am I
What's the
first?
order, Wesley?
I'm 3rd.
Jake, Mitch.
No,
Mac.
Jake James.
I
Mac.
just went first.
No,
Yeah.
I went
It's,
first.
it's Mitch.
No, I guessed.
No,
I
Jake
went
guessed.
first.
No, you go first if you're guessing. So you don't-
I went last the first pick. That means I go first the next pick. So I was first last one. So now I'm
Okay,
second.
so we got
Got a
James, Jake, Mac, Mitch.
The number in my head was 15, so I'm going to go 15.
Okay.
18.
Mac,
23.
Mitch.
15.
Correct answer is 18.
Ding 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 ding.
So those are counting off. We have Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce, DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf, Tyreek Hill, Allen Robinson, Darren Waller, DJ Moore, Brandon Cooks. Oh, look, Brandon Cooks. Terry McLaurin, Amari Cooper, Robbie Anderson, AJ Brown, Tyler Lockett, and Mike Evans. All right.
Mike Evans yet to not have 1,000-yard season in his
Just
career.
barely snuck in
That's
there.
awesome.
Mhm.
All
What are you
right.
gonna do? Sure.
Next
Not that
question.
smart.
How many 5,000-yard passers did we have last
Ooh.
season? Any
I'll
guesses?
guess.
Any,
I'll
any
guess.
guesses? Okay, so Mac's gonna guess.
I'm gonna guess as well.
Mitch is gonna guess. Any other guessers? Nope.
I'll guess.
Jake's gonna guess. All right, Mac, what's your guess?
4.
Mitch,
0.
Jake.
4.
All right, James. Is it 0, 1, 2, 3?
Or 4.
I will go
He had to throw 0 in there for you, Mitch.
2.
4 wasn't even one of the
I
options.
think it's 3.
It's 0.
The correct answer is 0.
Really?
The last
Deshaun
5
Watson had the most received passing yards in the league at 4,800 yards.
Oh,
and
wow.
the last 5,000-yard passer was Jameis Winston 2 years ago.
So
Wow.
Mitch takes a demanding lead of 2-1. 2-1
Commanding. Commanding is the word looking for.
No, I demanded it.
to 0. It is demand that
Give me
lead.
that lead.
All right. Let's see
Maybe
here.
the funniest thing you ever said, Mitch.
Wow.
The
What
bar's
jerk.
really
I'm
low.
really surprised you guys didn't know that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
I thought for sure, at least, I don't know. I know it wasn't 4. Some idiot said 4. 2 people.
Yeah, 2 people were like, hey, 4 people did it.
I thought you said 500.
Yeah, just give me that
Guess
crap.
4? That doesn't help.
I hurt you even more.
It's how dumb
It's like 2 games. You done, Wes?
Trying to
Anderson
pull up,
has rushed 5 times.
Here we
for
go.
6
Here we go.
yards.
I got it. All right. How many players had, this is the last question, by the way. How many players had 10 or more sacks last season?
Sacks?
Yep.
6.
10 or more sacks.
Are we gonna get the closest? Or we're gonna have multiple choice.
Yeah, this will be the closest. How many players had 10 or more sacks?
What order are we going in?
I guessed
Jake-
first last time, so I'm going last.
I think Jake, you picked first, right?
No, I was third that time.
I think
All
it's Mac first.
Yeah.
I
so
think
it'll be
I
Mac.
guess first.
I should be fourth with this one. Yeah, you didn't have to.
It's the same argument Mitch used with you, and you yelled at him.
No, it was my turn to go first.
Is this what question is this? What number is this?
It's the last question.
It doesn't
Last
matter.
question.
Who
4 or
cares?
5? Because if it's 5, I'm first, but if it's 4, I'm last. Or
I
second.
believe it is.
I think it's
5.
4.
It's 5.
Yeah, then I'm first.
It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah.
First shall be last.
All
Look it
right,
up on the
Max.
tape tab.
James and Jake.
How many players had 10 sacks?
How many
Yeah.
players had 10 or more sacks?
10 or more.
0.
All right, Mitch.
That's wrong. Screw yourself too. Because
I wasn't going to win either way.
You could have tied.
Might as well give the listeners something to laugh at.
The old listeners.
I'm gonna say 9.
James, sorry.
8.
I'll say
Jake.
7.
Correct answer was 10. So Mitch is the
Thank
closest,
you.
and Mitch is our winner for this week.
Congratulations, Mitchell.
I
Everyone
think
get a round of
Mitch's
applause.
winning probability percentage is sky high.
It's surprisingly high. I think he's won
Win
probably
a
like
lot.
4 out of 8 or 9 attempts.
I don't know why.
Um,
You just look it up when he asks the question.
Which is more likely to win
It's
trivia
very
than
easy.
Russell Westbrook is to make a shot.
All right. Well, this has been the swing, but Mitch, you'll host trivia next week. So get some good stuff for us. Okay. Start working on it now. We will be back Wednesday night with our Pick'ems podcast. We're looking forward to that. And we will update who our winner is. And if there is a winner above all 6 of us, is there 6? Yeah, including Toby. 6 of us, including Toby, then you'll be rewarded with our or our weekly prize. And don't forget, there is a grand prize at the end of the year. Please be sure to like us on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell. Also, anywhere else that you are listening, please be sure to subscribe so you get notifications and hear every episode, and tell your friends about us. Also, if you can give us a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, it really does a lot for the show. 5 stars. None of that 1-star crap. All right. Got one of those. Also, did I
Is
bring
he
up the
defensive
comment
guy?
that we heard on maybe got a comment from a guy on YouTube that says, you guys don't know crap about football, stick to tennis.
Speaking of
What?
You found him?
tennis, he said that Jokic has the first person since 1963.
Djokovic, not
Jokic, not Jokic.
There you go. Close.
Djokovic to
Stick
win
to
the Grand
football.
Slam, all Grand Slams in a single calendar
No,
year.
he got denied.
He got beat today.
Today he got beat.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yep. So my comment to him was, I promise you, we know less about tennis.
Love
So,
Exactly.
football.
the proof is in the pudding.
On another note, the 18-year-old girl whose second Grand Slam ever, she won.
She did win.
Yes.
So there was some tennis today. This is the more
Also-
we ever talked about tennis.
Oh, I can't believe you
This is
lost.
another thing. We didn't talk about this when we talking about baseball, but the San Francisco Giants are on a 7-game win streak.
Ugh.
You want to talk about a team that's hot? They scored
They are
50
hot.
runs the other day.
No one wants to talk about them.
Oh, Wes, you're in the playoffs. Wes and James both are playing each other for the
Nope, I'm playing Toby.
This has been the Swinging Mud
Oh.
Podcast.
So wait. Okay.
Wait,
This is the end of the second week, right?
This is the first week.
Oh, this is the first week?
Yes.
Okay, never mind then.
So
All
I
right.
have a chance to catch up.
Well, this has been the Swing Bump Podcast. We'll catch you guys Wednesday night with our segment just about our picks for the week. Make sure you catch that. And thank you for your cooperation in the contest this first week. It was really a success, and hopefully we garner some more attention throughout the year.
good luck, Roy.
Great week, a great week, and good luck, Roy.
Wins. Great wins.